Today on the What to Watch, guys, we'll tell you about a race-infused rom-com, a star-studded action comedy, and a new rock biopic. All that, plus our YouTube picks of the week, and much more. So, guys, who for you would you say is a box office draw? That is, who are the actors or actresses that just by being in a film or a show are enough to make you want to watch it or go see it? Jay?
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, yeah.
After I saw Driving Miss Daisy and Shawshank Redemption, anything that guy's in,
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, Andrew?
I think Ryan Reynolds is like on fire right now. He's hilarious on and off the screen. And I've seen everything he does.
Yeah, he's
Deadpool
really good.
It's hilarious.
Great.
It's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Well, you know, we think of those people as box office draws. I happen to like, one of my favorites is Tom Hanks. I don't think he's made too many bad movies. I'll see anything that Scarlett Johansson is in, Samuel L. Jackson, some of those.
Oh, we can list more than one?
Well, if you have more than one.
He asked us, we have one, then you get to do two.
Well, you know, that's
not fair.
But I'll tell you who else was a box office draw in his day was Elvis.
Nah.
You know?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
No, seriously. And this is something I didn't know. Between 1956 and 1969, Elvis made 31 movies.
Good grief.
And
they all sucked.
But they were all box office smashes, you know?
That's
and
crazy.
they made a ton of money. And of course, you know, we think of Elvis Presley in terms of the music, and, you know, rightly so. This impact on American music was huge. Well, a movie came out late last year that I think really captures the life and impact of Elvis Presley in a fairly new and exciting way. It's called, oddly enough, Elvis, and it's currently available on HBO Max. Now, the movie's directed by Baz Luhrmann, and it stars Austin Butler as Elvis. Now, this young guy, I got to tell you, really becomes Elvis Presley. I mean, he's got the look, the moves, the voice, both speaking voice and singing voice. And apparently he did a lot of the songs, most of the songs himself. It's very impressive. The film gives you a really strong sense for Elvis's background, growing up in the Deep South, you know, living among poor Black folks in Tennessee. You get a real feel for the influences he found both in the kind of gritty, bluesy, honky-tonk bars of the day and the gospel music of the Black Christian churches. Plus, you get a real strong idea for how big an impact Elvis had on America and pop culture of the time. It was really big. Olivia DeJonge plays his wife, Priscilla, and the movie explores their rather complicated relationship, as well as Elvis's relationship with his mom and dad. And of course, through it all is Colonel Tom Parker, Elvis's manager. And a good deal of the movie centers on that relationship, the good and the bad. I mean, you know, Parker did make Elvis the biggest name in showbiz, but then again, he also took half his money and worked the guy into the ground. So, you know, anyway, Parker is played by Tom Hanks, who, as I mentioned, is one of the great actors of our time, certainly one of my favorites. The movie is spectacular. It's fun. It's really well done. It's a rock biopic, certainly on the level of Bohemian Rhapsody, about Queen, and Rocket Man, about Elton John. If you enjoyed those movies, I think you're really going to like Elvis on HBO Max. So, Andrew, action and comedy, two great genres that work great together. And
right. And you combine that with the box office draw of Brad Pitt, you get the movie Bullet Train. Now, Bullet Train was directed by David Leitch, who also directed Deadpool 2, and I believe one or two or all the John Wick movies. Brad Pitt plays a bungling, down on his luck assassin. I mean, if it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. And now he gets a job on the world's fastest bullet train that goes from Tokyo to Morioka. And he, unbeknownst to him, there's a number of other assassins on the train with a similar job. Now, all their paths cross, and it's action packed. It's funny. It's sort of Jackie Chan meets Deadpool. I think you'll definitely enjoy it. It's loaded with A-list cameos, though there's a bunch of people. You got to sort of watch for them because some of them don't even say anything. They
you don't even realize they're there.
Right.
Yeah.
Really? Like,
and
who?
Well, I'll give you one. I'm not going to give you all of them, but one of the A-list cameos is Ryan Reynolds. He doesn't say anything, but just keep your eyes open for him. It's only a second. Now, I think it's a great action-packed flick. I really enjoyed it. Bullet Train on Netflix. I highly recommend it. Jay, what do you got?
I just watched You People on Netflix. What caught me, I watched the trailer like you do on Netflix. They show you all these trailers. And I thought, boy, what a cast. It's Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, David Duchovny. And, all these people are kind of A-listers. So I said, well, it's got to be good. And I'm a fan of Jonah Hill anyway. Jonah Hill wrote this movie with a guy named Kenya Barris, who is best known for creating that ABC sitcom Blackish, which was a big hit for ABC. So Jonah Hill, started out kind of doing these lowbrow comedy things like Superbad and Knocked Up and 40-Year-Old Virgin, which I thought he was hilarious in all of those. He just plays this character that's just so funny. But then he did stuff like Moneyball, and then Brad Pitt, and he did Wolf of Wall Street, and he crushed both of those parts, I thought. He's a really good actor, too. So anyway, that's why I checked it out.
So he's kind of a box office draw for you.
I would say he is these days for sure. Now, it's a rom-com. It's kind of formulaic, but, every rom-com kind of has to have that personal tension or some kind of conflict, right? To make the story work. In this case, the conflict arises from the fact that this young couple in love, Jonah Hill and Lauren London, are from very culturally clashing backgrounds. Jonah's character, Ezra Cohen, is a 35-year-old Jewish stockbroker who's, born and raised rich. And he's got this dream of quitting his day job and being a podcaster. He falls in love with a black Muslim her name is Amira Mohammed in the movie, and it's played by Lauren London. She's very good in the movie. Very, very attractive lady. So the proverbial doo-doo hits the fan when they decide to get married. He asks her to marry her, and then they have to bring their families together. So that's the setup for the comedy. You've got Ezra's wealthy suburban mom and dad with Julia Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny, and they're trying so hard to be hip and socially conscious and down for the struggle, a little over the top. While Amira's family, her parents, Eddie Murphy and Nia Long, are just disappointed, crushed that she's marrying a white Jewish kid from the suburbs. They're Nation of Islam, hardcore,
That's
Muslims.
not what they had in mind.
And not what they had in mind at all. So this movie, You People, received I would say mostly negative reviews, to be honest with you. Not very good reviews. And my take on it is reading some of the reviews, they were criticizing the stereotyping, of ethnic groups and all that kind of stuff. And it's a comedy, man. And there's, in my opinion, there's equal opportunity political correctness in the movie. And it's all funny.
Yeah.
They make fun of everybody. Who gives a, relax. It's a comedy. So, no, it's not an Academy Award movie, but it's entertaining. If you like rom-coms, it's definitely worth checking out. You People on Netflix. Check it out. And leave a comment below if you saw it and tell me what you think. Is it really as bad as the critics said? I didn't think so.
Well, cool. Well, here on the What to Watch, guys, we love to tell you all about the great content you can find right here on YouTube. And this episode is certainly no exception. So, Andrew, why don't you start us off with your YouTube pick of the week?
One of my favorite YouTube channels I watch, I've been watching it for years, and that's Hot Ones with Sean Evans. Now, Sean, he asks hot questions with even hotter wings. They eat 10 wings and they get progressively hotter.
Oh yeah,
and he started off just getting his, whoever he could get on, but now it's become so popular that he actually has A-list celebrities on the show. It's great.
Oh yeah,
Hot Ones with Sean Evans.
Yeah, that's funny. That's fun to watch. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Jay?
I picked Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar. It's a very popular very popular YouTube channel. You may have seen it. You may know about it. But if you don't, if you follow the news and politics, they call themselves the fearless anti-establishment kind of version of the news. You know, they put down CNN and make fun of them, and MSNBC and Fox News equally.
Yeah, and well deserved.
And they do what you don't see on television anymore, which is just do the news.
Yeah.
Without a perspective, without an objective of changing people's mind to your decision. They just give you the news. They're very good at it. My son actually turned me on to this a year or so ago, and they've grown dramatically. I mean, they have, I think, 350 million views or something. So it's a good show. It's a good place to get news and sort of common sense commentary without, objectivity that's just so blatant and so obvious. So check out Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar.
Awesome. Well, you guys may have heard this famous quote by Maya Angelou, the poet. And she says, quote, "People will forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Well, my YouTube pick this week is all about that, how we interact with others, how we make other people feel about us. It's called Charisma on Command, and it's hosted by a guy named Charlie Hooper. And what you get are 10 to 12-minute videos about enhancing your charisma, your confidence, avoiding common mistakes people make, basically how to handle yourself in all kinds of situations. Some of the topics include stuff like how to look confident when you feel out of place. Now, we've all had that. Or 5 awful phrases that kill your charisma. Or how to flirt without being creepy. This is all very practical stuff, very relatable.
Send me a link to that one.
I mean, Hooper often uses celebrity clips to illustrate his tips and advice, and they're pretty funny. It's all done with all respect and a sense of humor, and I've found these to be actually pretty helpful at times, and they're fun to watch. So check out Charisma on Command on YouTube. Well, folks, that's our show for this week. We're very thankful that you stopped by. We'd love to hear from you, so give us your thoughts, questions, suggestions, anything you care to say down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check us out on social media, and we'll see you next time on the What to Watch Guys.